Welcome to this edition of the sponsor Soapbox. And my name is Mike Madewell with Hunter Sprinklers. And I want to make sure that you realize that for some reason, my video camera is not allowing me to show video. So I've emailed the PowerPoint to Amy at the last minute, frantically. So she's going to actually post up the PowerPoint that I'll be jogging through. And I'll have her advance the slides as we go. I hope to enlighten you guys today about a couple of the new products that we have, and we'll literally jog through them pretty quickly so we don't get mired down too deep in any of the details. And I also wanted to make sure that you are aware of what's called My List on our website. So we'll be covering that piece at the very, very end. So Amy, if you can go ahead and put up the PowerPoint. It appears that we have kind of a light showing today. It is a brand new time this week at 2:30 in the afternoon. We moved it from 12 o'clock to let people get back into the office, hopefully. So there's the PowerPoint. Can you guys see that okay?
Yes.
Thank you, Willie. It looks like it's in display mode, right? Okay. Let's see, go ahead and advance, Amy. So I wanted to show you briefly the new X2 controller. This stems from the evolution of the X Core that we've had forever. It is really kind of the go-to basic residential controller. It's really not anything different than what we've been doing for a long time, except for now you can have a wand device that goes into the side to allow you to connect this up to HydroWise. It's loaded to the gills. It goes 4, 6, 8, or 14 station, Wi-Fi compatible. All the basic stuff, 3 programs, 4 start times, interval, cycle, and soak, all the good stuff you're used to. Go ahead and advance. Advance. It has a 2-inch backlit display, and as you can see there on the bottom right where the red arrow is, we may have a molded conduit entry for your station wires to come in. It comes with a pigtail. It's Roam and Roam XL compatible. Rain sensor as normal, but again, it goes up to 14 stations. So it's a good basic everyday residential track home controller. Advance, Amy. And you can use it as a standalone controller, or you can insert that device called the wand, W-A-N-D, advance. And with that wand, once you hook that in, now you can use that same controller through the HydroWise platform. The LCD display tells you when you're hooked to HydroWise Wi-Fi, has a green, amber, and red status light. And we also give you on that cabinet a hasp to use with a padlock. So if you want to keep your customers out, you can certainly do that. One of the great things it also has is it has the dumbed down program feature. So if you're doing standalone, you can dumb it down to 1 program and 1 start time, so your customers or homeowners do not end up getting inside the controller and messing things up. So again, it's the X2 controller. It's the evolution of our old X Core controller, now compatible with HydroWise. Okay, go ahead and advance. The next controller I want to make you aware of is the next evolution of the Node, called the Node BT, or Bluetooth. If you look inside that valve box, you'll see what you normally find: a big hairy spider, a rattlesnake, a centipede, and a scorpion, of course. So there's really no reason to get inside these valve boxes anymore when you have Bluetooth connectability. Advance. The controller itself has 3 buttons on the front for manual advance, as well as a battery checker, but all the magic happens in your app. And you can actually access this controller from about 50 or 60 feet away. If you know the old Node controller, it used to have those basic 9-volt battery connectors that weren't quite as robust as they could be. So we got rid of those, and now we have 2 drop-in compartments for your 9 volts to drop right in and make contact. Again, the app has everything that you would want in a full-size controller. Advance. 3 programs, 8 start times each, up to 12 hours of runtime, odd even programming, cycle and soak. I mean, it's got everything, okay? And advance. Physically, it's got 2 yellow wires for your rain sensor and 2 gray wires for a soil sensor. So that comes in handy for some of your bioswale applications that require a soil moisture probe. It has a suspend irrigation for up to 99 days, and you can also assign station 1 wire to be a master valve. So now you have a 4-station controller with DC latching solenoids plus a master valve. So super adaptable. Advance. Again, I can't tell you how much stuff is going on in that app. Multi-languages based on your phone's preferences, English, Spanish, has a battery health indicator. You can assign photos and names to the stations. It also has passcode protection, so you can put a pass number for that controller so no one else can get into it who happens to have the app. Advance. It has a log that shows what all has happened within the controller. GPS mapping ability, so now you can drop a pin on your smartphone showing you where that valve box is and where that controller is. The other biggie out of that list is over-the-air firmware updates. That's what the OTA stands for. So as we move forward and we make additions to the app and to the controller, the next time you hook up with your smartphone, it might say, hey, we want to upgrade the firmware in your node Bluetooth. And it does it right through your smartphone over the air or OTA. Advance. You can see a photo there of the drop-in 2 9-volt battery compartments. Gone is the old connector. You can actually run wire 100 feet away from that node controller to pick up a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th valve. If you're worried about the valve staying latched open, if your batteries get too low, it will actually unlatch the solenoids to ensure they don't get stuck in the open position. Advance. So that is the Node Bluetooth controller. Again, the app is super robust, and it rivals what a wall mount controller can do within the app. So real neat there. The second piece is going to be our easy decoder options that you can add on to our ICC2 controller. And the ICC2 controller is our standard, custom residential design build, good sized controller. The plastic goes to 32 and the metal goes to 48. Advance. So with regular controllers, you have 1 wire per valve, as you see there in the graphic. So if you got 30 valves, you got 30 wires going in the clock. Advance. On 2-wire decoder systems, if you're not familiar, it runs 2 wires out to the field and you have decoders that interface between the valves. Advance again. When the controller has a certain decoder turn on, it energizes that decoder and opens up that valve. So that's 2-wire decoder. Well, now we've evolved into a super easy system called Easy Decoder. And advance. Advance. On the bottom there, it shows the difference from a standard controller that has about 42 individual wires in there, and the right-hand side has an example of a 2-wire decoder out to the field. So you can see the difference in the amount of wires that you need. Advance. Again, here's another situation, 3 controllers, 42 stations each. There's 120 wires in that piece of conduit, where on the right, you can do the same thing with that 1 2-wire run. Advance. So forever, it's been one or the other. Now you have the ability to merge both into 1 clock. So if you look on the left, that's our standard ICC2, start time, run time, water days, dial programming, real simple. In the middle is the metal version. We also have the HCC, or hydroized version, same box, okay, same modules. So no matter what faceplate you're using, you can do this hybrid decoder system. Advance. The decoder module looks just like that there to the left, and it's got 2 outdoors going to the field. The decoder is hanging there to the right. They're super economical. They come 1 station only. Okay, advance. So now if you look to the left, we've taken the ICC controller and said from day one, we're just going to go decoder. And no matter what box you put that module in, it unlocks up to 54 stations in the face panel. You might say, but wait, that's a plastic conventional controller, 4 parking spots, 8 times 4 is 32, that's all it goes to, right? No, we use the one face panel for all models, and the max is 54. So the moment you put that decoder module in there, it unlocks up to 54 stations in that plastic controller. Then to the right, I've got the first station module with conventional wire, and the second station module is stations 9 through 54 on decoder in the same box. Advance. To the left is an example where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 conventional modules times 8 is 40 conventional stations, and the decoder module is 41 through 54. Same thing to the right is a plastic box. We may have had 24 conventional. We add the decoder module in the last parking spot. Now we're 25 through 54 on decoder. So you can see where you can have it all decoder or half and half conventional, half decoder. So you say to yourself, where do I use this at? I mean, how would this apply? So advance. Another example is 18 gauge multi-strand wire. It does not take special decoder wire. You can use existing wire. You can use 14 gauge, you can use decoder wire, you can use 18.7, 18.5, it ain't picky. Same thing with the splices out in the field. What you know about decoders, throw it out the window. That's why they call it easy decoder. Okay, advance. So here you have a landscape with a house there. The existing landscape is in yellow. And they probably have a controller around the house with some valves, and we're going to be proposing some additional landscape out front and to the left. Advance. Advance. There we go. So now as you look at this property, that purple line is the property line, and that little yellow star is the existing controller. And they have stations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So you know from the controller out to valve number 1, it probably has 1 common and 1 station wire. And from that same controller down to station 4 and all the way around, it has a common and a whole bunch of station wires, doesn't it? So if you're going to add on to this system, if you look at that yellow arrow before station 8, imagine to yourself what is inside that trench. So at that yellow arrow, you have 1 common wire and you have station 8, 9, and 10 station wires, don't you? From that point forward. So you could tap on to the station 9 and 10 wire, which you know goes all the way back to the clock, and use that as your new 2-wire path. You can leave your common the way it is. Go ahead and advance. And we're going to replace that existing controller with this scenario of the first module having 8 conventional wires. We put the decoder module in that second spot. Amy? Go back to the controller. One more. There we go. So this is what you'll put in that scenario. The first module has 8 conventional wires on the conventional module, and we're going to take 9 through 54, and the bottom module, that red and blue wire, is actually going to be stations 9 and 10 wires. And we're going to hook those onto that module. Hit advance. And now this is our new layout. We've left stations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the yellow valve boxes, conventional. And we've grabbed the 9 and 10 station wire and turned that into our new 2-wire path for the left side of the property. You'll notice on the top of that new blue controller, what is now station 17 used to be station 1. We took his common and station wire and made a new 2-wire path going that way. So now we've added on to the existing system with 1 new controller. So that's a scenario on a large residential design build where an easy decoder would solve a lot of problems, so you don't have to have multiple controllers. All right, I know it's a lot of information. I'll be available to you after today's meeting if you want to get more information on it, but that's the generality of it. Go ahead and hit advance. So the last piece I want to cover with you briefly is something called My List. And I've been playing with plants and sprinklers for a long time out in the field, and I can't tell you how many materials lists I've made up. We all have our own different system of doing that. From a legal pad, you start with how many valves? 7 valves. Then you start with how many pop-ups, whatever your method is. So then when you take that list and you go to your distributor, you have to write these part numbers out, don't you? Or you have to rely on your distributor to be on the ball to know that, oh, well, he likes Hunter Pro Sprays, or he likes, this valve. So we've created something called My List. And it starts with a single sign-on at our website. You go to the website, you set up your account, and once you have it, while you're on the website, you're able to start the My List via the drop downs that I'll show you in just a moment. But the beauty of it is once you have your single sign-on, you can also do the Hunter training site, you can do the Hunter swag store, and many other features. But when you make your My List, it can be emailed to your distributor for price quote and or emailed to your customer. Super simple. And it gets you the part numbers right the first time. It's not that hard to do on irrigation, but FX luminaire lighting, it applies there also, and the part numbers can be real tricky. The internet drop downs, make sure you get it right the first time. The other big piece is you can also connect and attach any literature and brochures for those products to your customer. Advance. So here is actual screen capture of our web page. So if you went there to do MP Rotator, you can see where it shows the model number, and you're going to add how many. You can add a note, and you hit the blue button saying add to my list. Advance. Here is a version of the list I've done for the Smith residence, and you can see where it says show price and pro feature. You can forward this or share it with your customer with or without retail price. You can share this to your distributor for a price quote, and you have the part numbers right the first time. So it's super helpful in that regard. Advance. This is an actual visual from the My List. It shows the Pro Spray 4-inch pop-up, and the accessory that was offered to me was the MP rotators listed there, and I've chosen 25 of those also. So whatever it is you're selecting, it offers you up over additional pieces that apply to it, so you get it right. Advance. Here's the controller up top. I have the modules down below. I ordered one controller with 2 additional modules. There's the list price. It totals it up for you. You can drop it into an Excel. You can send it to your customer, send it to your distributor. Advance. It'll also make a PDF for you that looks just like it does there to the left. And again, you're able to attach all the literature and brochures that apply to those products in the same email to your customer. So it's very professional. Advance. The last piece I'll talk to you about is the Hunter training site, and that's under your single sign-on also. As you can see there, there's irrigation and lighting certificates available, English and Spanish. It's all free. When you have your single sign-on, you can log on at any time from anywhere and complete the course load. It tracks your grades for you. It's great for your crews to be able to get up to speed on knowledge on valves and rotors and all things irrigation and lighting. Again, 100% free. They get their own logon, single sign-on username and password, and off they go. So go ahead and advance. I think that's it. Yep. So I just wanted to put those things out in front of you today. I know it's a lot of information we covered, but just wanted to put that little ticker in the back of your brain. So if you see something that you want more information on, please let me know. And you go ahead and unmute and we can get questions.
Today he called and he got me and said, hey, can you just send the guy, the transformer didn't work for him. He got it on time and everything, but he now uses a different part. I did the same thing for a different part. But then he called me and said, hey, change the address in the PO, and he taught me how to do it. How do we know when it gets to him? Because Scott, I send the PO to Scott, but then I get Scott changes the address so it gets shipped directly to the customer.
So I guess that might be Josh talking.
I know we see the PO. Do I just got to keep a note and like follow up with Scott?
Can you mute him, Amy?
I'm going to build this post now. They got it right.
Are you able to mute him, Amy?
And then what about we do for paperwork on that? So that's all.
All right. Any other questions? If you can hear me, raise your hand and Amy can unmute you. Or you can
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
A simple question for you on that. What did you call that? My
it's
order?
called My List.
Hey, on my list, can we put Rainbird on that list too?
Yeah, on the backside towards the bottom.
That's been you're about 10 years late with that thing. That's a great idea. I love it.
You know, it really is effective. And like I said earlier, everyone has their own way of making their list for materials. And if you've ever dealt with lighting, I don't care who makes it, part numbers for outdoor lighting can be pretty daunting. And the drop-down boxes make sure you get it right, the finish, everything right the first time.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have a quick comment on that, Mike.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that's really great about that My List when you're doing FX is it calculates and adds up your wattage for you.
Chris Rosink's on there too.
So somebody like Willie, who's always calling, asking to know if he's got enough transformer left for lights, it works out really nice there, Willie.
So true. I apologize, my video is not working, but yeah, I cannot stress how cool that My List thing is. And I made parts list for years with my own little system, but I really invite you guys to give it a whirl because it's really effective. Chris Stewart, are you there? I don't think I've met you. Which company are you with?
I'm with Bertotti. I'm actually up in the North Coast.
Oh,
So
cool.
I just called in to check it out and stuff.
Nice. Well, welcome. Have you seen My List on our website ever or no?
Yeah. I know Chris McNary
Okay.
and stuff too. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll apologize now.
Yeah. We use a lot of hunter stuff. So
That's
just
good
figured
to
I'd
hear.
check in and see how this worked for you guys.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Well, again, this was our first time doing this time slot. I hope it was going to work out well. We had an okay showing today, but if there's no further questions, we would invite you guys to attend the future webinars. And at some point, we'll be posting the recordings of the prior sessions. So you'll be able to get a link to the prior presentations as well.
Yes. Okay.
Well, thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Mike.
Thank
You bet. Bye-bye.